Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us back on the Future of Telemedicine podcast series. And we have a joy with us today, and I can't wait you guys to kind of meet our podcast hosts again. I'm Robert Thomas III, professionally known as R3, because why not? R3 just sounds cooler. And we want to really bring good content and education to our audience to kind of share practical use cases of people's journeys and stories, but also from a technology standpoint, how they can implement that. And I think this podcast participant that we have here today will be able to do that mighty well. So we've had a few chats before, and she seems like just a great person that we'd all want to know. So without further ado, Sonia, if you want to just do a quick intro of yourself, that would be great.
Okay.
Only reason I didn't say the whole name because I didn't want to mess it up in the first place. So I'll
It's
leave it to
okay.
you
I'll,
to
I'll say
yeah,
it. It's Mendes with a Portuguese accent.
gotcha.
Mendes Barbosa, which I think it's difficult for someone in America to pronounce it correctly. So it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So I'm Sonia Mendes Barbosa. Okay, I'm 52, and I've been a therapist for psychologists and psychotherapists for 30 years now. I know. It's when you start feeling like you're old people.
No,
But no, the 50 are, I heard this, the
no.
50 are the new 30.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
so I started my career as a researcher in the University of Porto. And then I moved on to the field, if you want to call it like that. So I started working in the Ministry of Education in Portugal. And then I went back to just being a full-time psychotherapist. So this is mainly my small review of my career. But
Yeah,
throughout all these years, what I realized is that whatever you do, wherever you are, you can always be a leader, and you can put your ideas into motion. So when I was in the Ministry of Education, I was leading all the psychologists in the north of Portugal who worked in schools. That was my function. So I was leading them.
yeah,
But the situation here is we founded the Instituto Zorgi. Zorgi, by the way, is an universal language called Esperanto. I don't know if you know about it.
yep,
And okay, so this doctor in the 19th century invented a language, an artificial language called Esperanto, which encompasses words from different languages, from German language, Latin language, everything, and came up with this artificial language. Zorgi means to take care of, okay, in
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
language. So this is one of the main frames of our company because it means we want to take care of everyone.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
it's an universal standpoint from the beginning, from its name. And I founded this institute with a philosopher, by the way. And why these kind of lines of thinking? Because we realized when we met each other that we were working in the same field of research, which is human vulnerability. We take it everywhere we go. And this was the place we could do anything we wanted. Because
yeah,
otherwise, if you're working in the university, you have the rules of the university, even if it is research. If you're
yeah,
working in administration, you have the rules of administration. So we decided to create our own small oasis to do this. So the main frame of Instituto Zorgi is this: I don't know if you can read the subtitle, but it says "Life becomes alive."
become a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that on your guys' LinkedIn.
that's our model because it's all about thinking about human suffering and how people can learn to transform it in happiness. If for many persons this is a
Yeah,
completely unbelievable thing, but it's true. So actually, this is what we have been doing these past 6 years. And Our aim is exactly that, is to think how to make this universal. So if you want
Mm,
to make this universal, you have to think about moving beyond the borders of your country or your city or
yep.
wherever you live and work.
Yeah.
So this is how technology comes into place with us.
Yeah.
Um, so this is
Yeah. I have.
mainly a small resume of what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's amazing, and we'll definitely get to the tech at the back end of it. But I don't know. I just have so many questions. I guess like what uh I don't know if it's like maybe how you grew up or like did you always want to do this? Like I guess tell me, is there any like moments that you thought of when you were younger, something that you seen, I guess like sparked your curiosity to like go down
Mm.
this path? Like how I guess how did you develop like, hey, this is what I exactly want to do, for the rest of
Oh,
my life? Serving people is I can tell that's something that you probably always done, but curious in how you determined this was like the path for you.
well, I remember from a very early age to thinking about how I couldn't stand seeing people suffer.
Yeah.
So usually what I would do is to bring my shoulder over and let people cry on it and
Yeah.
give some advice, even if I were tiny little toddler. But I was
Yeah.
also a very inquisitive young
Yeah.
girl. So I
Yeah.
always went further to understand how things worked.
Yeah.
And of course, the human being is the most complex of
Yeah.
things to understand how people work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can say that in a certain moment in my teenagers, I thought about medicine also because it's also a career helping people.
Yeah.
But I would say today, if I went through that.
Yeah.
This meeting is being recorded.
No, positive. Gotcha. Yeah. So on that front, um, I guess you've been doing this for 6 or 7 years. Before, again, we get into the technical conversation, what is maybe one piece of, I guess, therapist advice that you could give to our audience, like give to the world as far as, like, I don't know, some of the things that you've learned that you share with some of your people that you've helped? Like, is there like one guiding principle that, I don't know, again, I know this is probably like a very general question, but is there one piece of advice that maybe you share with all your people that you come in contact with that like our audience can think about from like a mental health standpoint? It's like, hey, that was like really powerful, impactful.
There are no sick people in mental health.
Okay.
There are only people and their contingencies, their
Interesting.
situations.
Yeah.
Understand? There's no
Yeah.
sickness. It's just the contingencies. This is how
Yeah.
you can turn suffering into happiness. If you realize this, if you
Yeah.
realize that you're not sick, even if you're a schizophrenic, which is a neurological thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But being a schizophrenic, it's just one of the variables of your moment. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you go on being a person. You go on. You have a chronic disease, but you can also have diabetes, which is also a chronic disease, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
stop your life, and then you don't start growing after your happiness goals because you're a
Yeah.
diabetic. So
Yeah.
this is how I approach everything. When
Yeah.
people come into um, my office, if you want, this is the main thing and the beginning of everything. I tell them there are no sick people here, only people
Yeah.
and their contingencies. What I mean is what they are living at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you think of yourself like this, you can really do the jump.
Yeah. How do you, because you're also a business owner. And so I'm curious to see, like, hear your perspective of what actually it means to be happy, like what takes true happiness. Because I think people who own businesses, they chase money or they chase power or they chase, greed gets the best of them. Like in your experience, you're a business owner, plus, you're helping patients. So I'm curious, you've probably seen a lot as well and talked to a lot of people. I'm curious on like, especially people who are business owners or you have salespeople, people that are, have high pressure jobs.
Yeah.
Uh, how do they pursue happiness, I guess, is a question that I would, yeah, want to ask.
You know, I don't want to be much technical, so I won't bother people much, but I can tell you this without using a cliche. Okay, I can use the cliche. The cliche
Yeah,
is be truth to yourself. But this is
yeah,
a cliche, it doesn't help you much. But I will
yeah,
give you another answer, which I think will make it much more tangible.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, 18th century philosopher called Friedrich Hegel, okay, Friedrich Hegel,
Okay.
sorry, Hegel,
There you go.
he said this very easily. To know yourself, you have also to understand what the other people next to you tells you what you are not. Am I
Yeah,
making myself clear?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So if you can do this movement by understanding who you are, looking at what you know you are not, and coming back to yourself and saying, okay, this is exactly who I am.
yeah,
I think this will make your happiness.
yeah,
Doesn't matter the stress that people put in, because you're just doing one part. When you're talking about work, you're just doing one of four parts of your identity. You're just
yeah,
experiencing one of them, which is their professional identity. Then you have the
yeah,
personal, the situative, and your social
yeah,
identity. So why would that one part become the whole and
yeah,
become your happiness? Why? Just
yeah,
know how to work around it always. Doesn't matter where the stress comes from, whether it's your work or your personal life, doesn't matter. Just do
yeah,
this movement, this psychological movement. I am like this. Robert is not me, so he's telling me what I am not.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
this is exactly who I am, and I'm being truthful to myself in what I am.
yeah.
So if you guide yourself like this, I think you will experience the ecstasy of happiness wherever
Gotcha.
you are.
No, that yeah, that's amazing. And I think one big thing is too is people tie their identities too close to outcomes. And I think that's
Yeah,
where people, yeah, when you were talking, I was like, okay, I can see how people tie their identity to outcomes. If they don't achieve this thing, I'm a failure. I'm a failure.
yeah.
And it's like that's like a thing that consistently replays
And the more
in people's
important
minds.
thing, you're giving other people that bring you stress and suffering the power
Yeah.
to make you feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
giving them
Exactly.
that power,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they have no power over you. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
You own your life. So
Yeah.
you have the power to
Yeah.
allow them to make you feel like that or not.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, thank you for that. That was I think, yeah, a guiding principle. I think something that's super important. And so as we transition to the business side, again, you
Yeah,
talked about happiness and all those different things, and business and performance and measuring your business is important as well. I'm curious from you, like from you talked about going globally, you talked about tech a
yeah,
little bit already. What are how are you implementing maybe AI or technology in your business today to kind of help,
yeah,
grow it?
yeah. It's interesting that this invitation, nothing is by accident. This
Yeah,
is one of my main things in life, my main
yeah,
themes in life. So
yeah.
it's interesting that you come to me to ask me that, because we are developing the technological side of all of this.
Okay,
Okay, I
gotcha.
can't unveil a lot of it,
Yeah, of course.
but we're developing things that we believe in and that can change lives by bringing knowledge to people's lives.
Yeah,
So there will be a lot of apps coming up from Institute Zorgi to the
yeah,
world,
yeah,
universal apps about everything that have to do with human development, which I
yeah,
think are going to be a very big success. Everyone that we have already talked about it love the idea. And so we're now developing that side of the business, which I think
yeah,
it's a very important thing to do.
yeah,
So, yeah, we've brought AI. to the business. We're
Yeah.
developing very important things because, you know, people usually think that AI and machines and computers and coding is not about people, but it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you use it in the very good and benign way you can use it to help others,
Yeah.
yes. This is about
Yeah.
empowering people to know about themselves. So
Yeah.
it's, again, it's not the cliche, just look at yourself in the morning, say in the mirror, you're very
Yeah.
beautiful, very beautiful. This won't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But it will work. What will work is to give you the knowledge that you can use to be empowered in your
Yeah.
work, in your personal life, and to learn with it. So
Yeah.
knowledge is exactly that. AI is
Yeah.
about knowledge. It's
Yeah.
about the power of knowledge. So yes, we're doing that. Also, of course, I have clients all over the world. So
Yeah.
every day I do exactly what I'm doing with you right now,
Yeah.
talking via video call with the tools we have and
Yeah.
doing sessions throughout the
Yeah.
world. So I think that's a very important thing also. Of course, there are conditionings to do this,
Yeah.
psychotherapy
Yeah.
via video call, but you can do that. You can just give the rules and everything goes smoothly.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say has been the biggest barrier as far as maybe both sides, like using AI, maybe for your video calls or analyzing your video calls? Like, I don't know if there's like I don't know if that's like a um privacy concern as far as recording
Yeah,
and using that
of
data,
course.
but
Yeah,
what's been the biggest barriers as far as on the front end of using it with your people that you're reaching out to? And then when you talk about building these different applications, you have to have a vision, you have to have a product roadmap of how you're going to build those things, and all those things could be uh overwhelming, at least in the beginning when you first start. So
yeah,
curious on those two questions on the
yeah.
biggest barriers for
One of the other main pillars that we do in Institute Zorgi is that we don't invent things.
Hmm,
We
okay.
research about things. So everything that comes about, every tool that we design from the beginning comes about by uh, a need that people express to us. For instance,
Hmm,
I need a training. We also do training. So I need
yeah.
a training specifically on this situation. So
Yeah.
I'll give you a small example. I'm researching right now very much how the phenomena from our brain called neuroplasticity comes
Yep.
about in change, in changing everything in your life, how you feel about yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So people, teachers, educators, parents, ask me if I could do a training on this, how they
Yeah.
can use this in their classroom. So everything, even the apps, come about from some kind of need that people just realize that they have. And I
Yeah.
realized at that moment there's a lot of people needing this. So
Yeah.
this is how things grow. They don't just come about from whatever. So yeah, this is how the business is growing, very quietly, very smoothly, very
Yeah.
slowly, if you want, but very concisely. This is
Yeah.
exactly what I want. Very um sorry, very grounded,
Yeah. Yeah.
because these are needs that come about in our daily life as
Yeah.
professionals.
Yeah. So what about the as far as like the when it comes to developing these tools, these AI tools that you talk about, again, if you can't share, I know you can't share the details, but what was like the process? Like, was it like, hey, I'm going to research these different AI technologies and tools that's out there, or hey, I'm going to go find a application development company that comes and develop it? Like, what was like, I guess, the mental process of, okay, taking in the data of like, okay, we know this is a need. Let's go read like what is the research process as maybe a business owner that you've leveraged to, I guess, okay,
Yeah.
say vet out these different tools. Yeah.
So when I talk about research, it's
Mhm.
about really academic research. So
Okay.
I've been okay. So I the first thing is to collect the clinical data about a phenomena.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I say, wow, this is happening to a lot of kids at the same time. Why is this happening? So I go about and do the research
Yeah.
that, okay. Then when I get to my results and I realize that, wow, I have to do something about this, but I'm a single person. And
Yeah.
this is going to have a worldwide impact in people's lives. So how can I do this? Oh, I can do an app. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the next step. Then, yeah,
Yeah.
you have to go to a company, of course, because
Yeah.
otherwise, okay, no amateur
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 Of course.
So people came about and realized when I talked to the companies, to several companies about this, they thought the idea was absolutely interesting, and they
Yeah.
came about the project. Of course, I
Yeah.
found a good partner doing this, and we're developing. We're in the final stages right now, and then of course we're going to do a market test. Of course,
Gotcha.
okay,
Yeah.
because all of us have this idea, wonderful, beautiful idea, but we have to move on to realizing if this really works as we are
Will work.
expecting to do it. But the
Yeah.
process is always this. We find a need from my clinical work or from
Yeah.
my partner's philosophical thinking. I talked to you about the philosopher because we really
Yeah.
work together, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, then we move on and we see which steps we have to take, how many partners we have to go. I always work like this. I work a
Yeah.
network, okay?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
create a department inside the company to do something so specific in a small amount of time.
Yeah.
And no, I go about with partners, always about partners. It's always about
Yeah.
partners because I have the idea, the other people can execute it. They're very good at what they do. They have years of experience. Why do I do the investment
Do
or
it.
take the
Yeah.
time or take... No, no.
Yeah.
They will understand the idea. Sometimes it's hard to understand something so so intangible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they come about and yeah. So I think this is one of the main things that someone in my area of work needs to think about. My policy for a very long time, because Instituto Zorgi was founded 6 years ago, but I told you I
Yeah.
have a career of 30 years. So
Yeah.
this is just the highlight of
Yeah.
what I've been doing these 30 years. So yeah, my thinking as a co-founder and as a CEO of the company is like this. I have to have partners with all the expertise in their field.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And then when you again, I know you kind of talked about the growth of the company being grounded and steady, and you're doing two different, you're working on the, your people that you're servicing today, but you're also building the vision for future people. How
yeah.
are you, is there any, again, feel free to say, hey, you don't want to share, but is there any and it's not about the money, but is there any revenue goals? Is there any like employee, are you targeting as far as, hey, I want to grow this percentage month over
Yeah.
month or year over year? Like maybe talk me through some of those things. Would love to kind of understand what that looks like, if any,
Well,
if you feel, if you're open to sharing that.
yeah. It's okay. I think we're a good example of what happened with COVID
Yeah,
because we started in September 19th,
yeah,
2019, okay?
yeah,
And COVID came about.
yeah, yeah,
So it was if a company can survive 6 years on, starting in COVID with this
yeah,
kind of business theme, well,
yeah,
I think we can do anything, survive
yeah,
anything, because
yeah,
um, so mainly um, what I thought was that I have this idea of what I want to do with the company.
Yeah.
So we started with COVID from zero, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the first year, to my surprise, it wasn't a flat year. We had
Yeah.
grown, okay? And
Yeah.
we've been growing very consistently for over the years. And the last 3 years, I think we've grown 200%
That's amazing.
each year.
That's amazing.
Just thinking like this, make it simple. This is one of the other advices I can give people. Make it
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go about trying to do something that you think it's a wonderful idea, but you know nothing about.
Yeah.
It's
And
always,
how is that growth again? How is that growth? I mean, again, I know you've been in the industry for a while, so I'm sure you have a great network. But
yeah,
how was that growth? How did you get there to 100%? Was that just word of mouth? Was it referral? Were you
yeah.
doing cold outreach? You tried to sit like, how did
You
you,
know,
yeah, what's that
yeah,
process?
yeah, yeah. I usually say that in Portugal, my name, who is my main invitation card, of course,
Yeah.
my name precedes me. So if I
Yeah.
call anyone and say, well, I want to do this project, the answer usually I have from the other side is, when do we start?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, of course, I built this credibility when I was in the Ministry of Education, because I wasn't really doing administrative work.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
really helping people in schools, and then came about the private sector and the companies. So it was just a continuum, if you want. But if you're asking about my private practice as a therapist, I've
Yeah.
never made any marketing of anything. It's mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mouth to mouth.
Do you see that as, again, because your situation, you built this business very intentional. So with the AI side, obviously go to market, that's going to be, to spread that wide net, you'll have to do things differently there. But when you think about that, what do you see, I guess, being the biggest challenges from like a sell and scale marketing standpoint, being that you'll be the word of mouth thing is great, it's got you here. But when you talk about the applications that you're building, maybe there's some
Yeah.
level of, some strategy you need to kind of get that
Yeah,
global
no.
reach.
When we go
Yeah.
to that stage, we have to do something really different.
Yeah.
My main challenge is always about getting people to understand exactly what the idea is all about, actually.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you want, and I've been struggling with this since we founded the company. Usually a company has a main area of activity. Okay, so if
Yeah.
you're a psychologist, you'll do a company that focuses on health clinics, if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
But we don't do that.
Yeah.
We do clinical, we do education, we do consulting, we do training, we do
Yeah.
research, very serious research,
Yep.
neuroscientific research, and we do publications. We do the
Yeah.
full circuit. Okay, so this is exactly why it's called an institute, because we're trying to do all the stuff in our line of thought. We are authors, both me and Stella. We are authors. So
Yeah.
if we want to have this place where we can do the research we think needs to be done, and we found lots of obstacles to be done, then we have to be very much coherent and very serious in the way we commit to it. So we do the full circle, very
Gotcha.
slowly, not all the departments, but very slowly. When I
Yeah.
find the need to um, create a bigger team about a certain department, yes, we go full commitment on that.
Yeah.
But when it is needed, not before the time. So it's really
Yeah.
how we do it. It's very, I know this is a very challenging idea of a business
Yeah.
for the usual nowadays markets. But you know, Robert, what moves us is not power, it's not money, and definitely it's not greed.
Yeah.
So what moves us as a company is a human mission.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I'm not an ideologist. I know that I need the budgets to do it. I know that I
Yeah.
need the investment. I know all of that, but I never lose sight of what we really want to do with it. Never. So yes, this is about alerting people to humanity. And I think you're living in the United States, so I think you know what's going on
Yeah.
worldwide, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're losing sight of things, I think. So if my micro nano small company in Portugal can do something just to make people remember that we're all human, we're happy. Again,
Yeah.
for your answer, for your question before,
That's
I'm
yeah. No,
happy.
that's amazing. And yeah, truly, thank you for sharing that feedback. And it's, not, I think it stands out because not a lot of people think like that and
Yeah,
keep purpose, driven missions kind of top of mind. So thank you for that. So as we're rolling off we got probably a minute or 2 minutes left here.
yeah.
Um, One last question, quick. What is something, words of advice, if there's any, again, I feel like you're a wealth of knowledge. So if we have anyone in the audience that's struggling with mental health or struggling with any issues, again, you've already given us one great principle, which is, they're not sick. But is there any last encouraging words, I guess, that you want to share? Anything that on your mind?
You can only um, you can only succumb to your suffering if you do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have any issues, whatever you feel, if you have that small ring in the back of your head just saying something's wrong, I don't know what it is, but something's wrong, don't wait to ask for help.
Yeah.
I'm sure that all over the world there are lots of professionals that can help you. Okay,
Yeah.
and of course on my side I'm always available for anyone because, as I told you, I do video and sessions. So
Yeah.
whomever, just look for help. Don't go any further because then I don't know if I can end with this phrase, but I think it's so important about suffering.
Yeah.
Let me end with this phrase. Another philosopher, Nietzsche. I think you've heard
Yeah.
of him, Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nietzsche says this about people. If you look a long time onto an abyss, the abyss looks back on you.
Mm.
So this
Yeah.
is the worst thing you can do about any mental issue, any suffering in
Yeah.
your life, anything. Don't look
Yeah.
a long time into the abyss because the abyss will look back on you.
Yeah. Yeah. There you have it. No, that was yeah, that's great. I haven't heard that saying before. And that was a great recording. I think audience got a lot from it. So I want to thank everybody for listening.